So definitely, best result for all of these teams here would be just to get a good few kills on the board. One of these teams will pick
dapat
up,
ini
5 or
cok,
6
cloud
kills. That's
armor,
that cloud array.
dapat
See,
kamera lah nggak ya, kamera besar
very
aja.
nice little red. Get some kills on the board. Close that score point gap to D. Hope the D don't come out and kill half the lobby again, because that's not going to help any of the other teams. And then push on for that mantle break in the next games.
Ooh, I'm just like getting excited for Space City. I'm just put a heart rate monitor on and see how it's going to be, because I know our players are going to be performing top of their capabilities and kind of stressed. I'm not going to lie.
Cok,
Same over here to watch it.
Kamar mandi lama banget anjir. Wow, 3,5 M. 9 menit belum ada perang kah?
Yeah, those bosses have a little fight between each other as well, and occasionally we're even blessed with seeing the boss manage to knock one of our players as well. There is the airdrop that has landed. That's going to have some reds in it for our players should they choose to grab it. Doesn't look like anyone was really on it at the moment. These players, they want kills. They're not too fussed about a few reds and golds from the airdrop. They want to get their kills. That's what they're prioritizing here. It's their final day in the groups. They got to make something happen.
Man just hit a full somersault, and let's get him. Knife him right in the back by Prison Guard for NBA. Still kind of dancing around. Now, I will say DE has been in this vicinity, and they are playing small, not really making a lot of noise. See the Fallen Prince Raven there. Working on him.
Raven having
Raven mati dong barusan.
It's a pretty one-sided fight.
Dikit lagi mati dong Raven.
Raven, I think he's
Ravennya mati anjir.
There he goes. 1 for Prison Guard, 0 for Raven, unfortunately.
That was such a dramatic fall. I'm like so tempted to like recreate it and be like, ooh, but regardless. NBA back onto their POV as they just work their way through this area on the northwestern, checking all the things. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Get him. Get him.
It's not graceful, but both the bosses. Oh no, there we go. Groth did manage to come out top. Very low health, so at least will be easy for our players to deal with if they do have to fight him at some point. 7 minutes on the match timer now. We're getting towards the interesting end of Tide. No one's picked. We haven't had a single knock from any of our teams yet, have we, as DE? Yeah. Zbishka looks very firmly relaxed. Maybe as they wait for NBA. You can see they're very close by. FNC Fnatic, they're up near the Bagless Extract. Guitar and LFS down near the Wardens area, and FPV just slightly off to the west there. Flame yet.
Okay. Apa ini ngepron ini?
No one has moved over there. LFS, prone, vibing. You can see over there on the left side of things, and you're just really laying low near that trigger. Or Gataga. I will say this much about them. You think back to their Zero Dam. You know, they worked so dang hard just to find another team and ultimately meet their demise, but they're looking for those engagements. Just haven't found the right one yet.
They're trying, but it's a tough map to move around in a hurry. There's so many sneaky little angles you need to be aware of, so they can only move through so much pace. They do have the Hack Claw to scan. You can throw your Nox discs out in front, the flashes out in front, see if you get a connection. But it's not a huge amount of time left for our teams to get some rewards out of this game. And they're kind of on the move, but it's very, very slow. As Fnatic, they are coming towards them.
DE. There it is.
Okay, ketahuan anjir udah.
That initial engagement with Jame on the front line, down and out. Izin pops silent assault and immediately starts moving straight towards Bane and Raid Bull, but they disengage not quick enough, still leaving their back line open as Fnatic starts to fall apart. Now, mind you, they had found a ton of valuable resources as Raid Bull is just on the run. You know they're hunting this down. They're the only 2 teams up here. But for now, Raid Bull's on the move.
Well, that probably comes as a surprise to absolutely nobody that the first kill was on the board there are for DE once again. They've got 2. The helicopter extraction that's been, that is active, not been pulled rather. That's the one that automatically becomes available down in the south should someone choose to take it. They've got a couple of minutes to do so. It doesn't look like that's firmly on anyone's mind at the moment. This is Gataga. They're sort of, well, I'd say scrapping. They're just kind of aware. There's not actually really a fight here. They got the Morse ult down to scan and see what's going on. This is FPOV. They are nearby, so we might see a bit of action from these guys in just a moment.
01 main TikTok.
We heard from the IGL himself a bit earlier. On over to Maxa. Just keeping tabs, looking for any triggers that might kind of give us the signal that you've got a lot of action over here, but they have inched themselves a little bit closer over towards where that airdrop had gone. Blooddeed might make
apakah
contact
ketahuan?
with that.
Apakah ketemu ini? Dikit lagi ketemu.
Elsewhere.
Tadi dong.
DE looting after they killed some people. Not shocked
Dituker
here. I
langsung.
mean, considering they had, what was it, 8 in game number 1, 7 or so in game 2, 15 total kills coming into Tide Prison.
Tak prison. 3 menit cok, 3 menit belum ada VAR lagi anjir. Baru ada penculikan tadi coy. Ayo VAR 3 menit loh. Mending satu pulang luar, satu cepet. Gak bisa loh nanti loh. Ya pulang luar aja.
The decision for Raid Ball at the moment potentially might just wait in that area, see if someone runs up, might be the best option. Pick up a sneaky kill and then take the extract as well. As we see DE, they're going all the way up now to the outside.
Ayo, ada ini, ada airdrop yang tidak boleh dilewatkan.
See what you get.
Tinggal di tiga masih. Merah, merah, nggak apa-apa, merah.
We take that.
Ditinggal nggak apa-apa, merah.
Three single slot reds there. It's not, you know, it all
ketahuan itu, ketahuan pasti.
4 mil, of course, that involved them all getting off the map as well, which is not going to happen at this point because there's only 2.5 minutes left for their teams are coming together. So it's all about fighting for kills, but they can get that stuff safe box. Nice small reds is going to be perfect for them.
Ya, ketahuan dong itu dong.
Pulls out the drones there, gets back up to full HP. Got the disc ready to throw should he need it, and Gataga
masih majuin anjir.
Once again picking up kills. Uvela getting some
Tim merah.
Gataga just like that.
Tim merah lagi aja.
That's really just unfortunate for Gataga. These are one of the teams where you want to hear kind of what has been going on in their performances for Zero Dam and Tide Prison because they are looking for these fights. But as they go to get into them, there's just these little tiny mistakes that keep occurring.
Ayo 2 menit, VAR, ayo VAR.
For Gataga, going into space in back-to-back rounds soon.
VAR.
You have to minimize those. For FPOV, your say. Looking for angles in Skydee and Uvelier. The double Alluru squad here.
Kena bakaran kah?
We come back to LFS, who just recently had Imperator knocked by Blake.
Kena bakaran.
I don't think they've got the confirmation on that one just there. You see Imperator just outside of the huge pile of fire. Might manage to get away with that depending on what util comes in. This is Raid Ball has ventured into the map. This is our last remaining member of Fnatic. We saw him by Bagless just a while ago. Decided to come in and play for kills in the final minute of the game here. Still so many players left alive. 3 full teams, and here comes one of them, D on Blake.
Oh, there it is.
1 menit lagi. 1 menit penuh derita, penuh VAR. 1 menit is VAR aja. Ayo. De, join party. Ya, nggak ada yang pulang De. Kenapa nggak pulang aja ya? Why not pulang?
NBA picks up 2 on LFS there, leaving them just 1 up. So they got the advantage there. DE.
Kenapa tidak pulang saja?
They're on 5 kills now. The only full team up. They're going to push on an NBA here. If they've got the util ready, then this could be massive for them. And especially it's just going to try to get stuck in there, but
ya
nggak
pulang.
Only 10 seconds left now for our players.
Kirain pulang aja. Suara gimana itu katanya mau kalah ya. Oke, nice tim DE anjir. Tim DE, gila nice.
And Dark Entities puts up another solid game in terms of kill points, and as we see right there is Bishka on the screen, teching with Fleric, who grabs some of those last couple of kills.
Nice banget coy.
That's about as good a game I think D could have hoped to have from that. They got at least 5 there. They got a knock right at the end. I'm not sure they had time to finish that to confirm the kill point, as we see James already run off to go about his business. Skyty here and Uvilia. I love these player camps, by the way. It's been so great to see, you know, put faces to the names and see them throughout this whole Rise tournament.
Well, let's go ahead and see 7 kills for Dark Entities, 1.5 million assets gained, and 1,600 damage.
No.
At this point, who is going
Kill
to stop our
lagi
S tier
7
dungeon
anjir,
bosses,
masa?
Dark Entities, on the
Dark
day? Because they're
Entities
looking
anjir, what the
phenomenal.
fuck,
Flerk
anjir.
leading the charge there with
Gila
4
sih.
kills out of the 7. But then you kind of dive down. MBA grab 4 kills.
Tapi harusnya ada yang pulang ya, Pak.
Looking for some action, do get 2
Harusnya ya.
Another massive kill game for D. There 4 for Flerk.
Harusnya tetap ada yang pulang anjir, biar enak anjir.
Uzbishka got a bunch in game 2, and now Flerik's joined the party. So these boys are all fragging. So three there for Uvilia as well. 700 damage for Folarate. 600 Flerik, so massive damage by D. I think it was over 2,000 for the team, right? Stickinson again, just always up there, getting some damage done.
Definitely, I mean, they did get 2 kills that game, so LFS showing some signs there as we start getting warmed up for our series on Space City with the Mandel Bricks coming back. But our top asset earners, you got 2 mil for Nox, and that's because you had
Gila,
some
2
reds you
M ya.
threw in the safe box.
Aset
Not too bad for Bane and Flerk there.
Nice amount of reds to be found on Tide Prison. There is Flerik with the 4 kill points, 600 damage.
Flerik
1 mil
lagi
asset gain.
aja.
Our MVP for round 3, our Tide Prison game, our only Tide Prison game of the day, because next up we're going to be jumping over some back-to-back space cities.
Ooh, back to back to back. And the thing is, with Dark Entities playing the way that they are and sitting in win condition, they could just send us home after 4 games and be like, you know what, we knew what we needed to do. We're looking to get to the top of that overall leaderboard on the group series standings, and we're going to do it in a dominating fashion. But with those space cities on the horizon, let's go ahead and jump to a quick break, and we'll get back into the action shortly.
Gila, bentar lah. Tiga menit lagi, mulai lagi. Oke, nice, tak tunggu. Kenapa ini tidak sendiri ya? Smart King Switch use on King Switch. Apa cok? Fayali. What map is substantial teach room? Teach Capacity Hero Dam, okay. Substation, okay. Living for
My
success.
name is Evan. I am player for Team LFS.
Keren
My role
sih.
of the team is Assault.
Keren.
Browser showed me this game and asked to play when game was in beta test, and game instantly hooked me, and I started to play. Someday some guy invited me to play with Andrew Stickinson, and after that game we started to play a lot together. He already had a team in the past, and he just invited me to play together. After that we played one tournament. Our support guy and IGL left us, so we supposed to find the third one, and it was an Imperator. I guess it's our game style, because it depends on different spawns, so we could be very aggressive team who runs forward to fight and runs to take the mantle brick no matter what, or we can play a very passive to go on mantle brick as a last team. Honestly, when I look on my guys, especially in the eyes, I see confidence, because we know that we can kill everyone on the map, that everyone of our team can take game on his shoulders, that everyone can call a good move in difficult situations. I think these things makes our team very good. Especially for me, it happened really recently when we qualified for regional tournament, when we took the last mantle break. These feelings and emotions I will not forget for a long time.
1 minute again
Let's try it as it
menuju
may sound,
Space City.
but you never give up.
Space
You're
City
supposed
normal
to
atau hard ya?
play
Space City lah yang
play
penting.
this game to
Terus
get
pulang
better
main
and
deh
better.
lagi.
And also the
Apakah DE akan
important thing is to
dapat
watch tournaments like
dapat
this,
medal lagi
to notice
atau
some
tim lain yang
interesting
dapat
moves
medal?
to get better.
Let's see nanti 1 menitan. Skarmory, Zapdos, Butterfly, Nungat.
It's time to lock it in, y'all. We are about to get into our first Space City at the Delta Force Rise Series. Week 4, Day 2. Groups A and D's last showing. And as we peruse through Dark Entities, getting into oh my gosh, Gataga. Maxa, you got a fan on your face, bro? Cooling down? I see you.
Yeah, it's pretty hot for some of these guys playing in Europe right now. I can attest to that. It's been a pretty warm one over the last few weeks that these guys have been playing, so all credit to them. I know what it is like sitting inside a hot room with all your computer stuff on and playing Delta Force. But yeah, seeing the guys here, they are locked in.
Sebentar lagi akan mulai Space City. Perebutan medal.
EMEA, they're going to be wanting to fight, try and get to that top 2, and then of course our teams at the bottom, FPB, Fnatic, and LFS, they need to get involved.
Very true. We do have a lot of French players here today, and I was out in Paris just, I think maybe 2 weeks ago at this point, and I was getting cooked. So more respect to everyone locking it in on the EMEA side of things, because those heat waves are absolutely brutal. But also, this leaderboard, great for Dark Entities, brutal for everyone else. 32
Dark
total
Entities,
squad
21 kill
points
point.
and a
Anjir,
Mandel
banyak
mark
banget,
for Dark Entities. If we
32
close it out
poin.
before, this
Supply
might be
point
one of the most
11.
dominant showings that we've
Anjir.
had throughout our group series.
Dark Entities lagi MC-nya.
As much time to follow NA super closely, but this is huge. It's normally been a lot tighter than this, but you know, if another team gets 2 Mandel bricks, DE are still only going to finish second with that, so they need to keep their eyes focused on the brick. That is the price. But 32 score points, I mean, they're averaging over 10 score points per game over the first 3 matches is kind of unheard of, really.
Ooh, very true. As we look through our map rotation, you can see it was Dark Entities, like we said, that got that initial Mandel brick on Brackish alongside the airdrop round. As we move into rounds 4 through potentially 6, Space City is where you'll likely see our teams start to invest their Tempest. A lot of Tempest on the board for our players. No knocks for Gataga, that's totally fine. Most people pull them out on Tide Prison. NBA, however, has had some of the most peculiar operator selections for today, and they do have some things available. They've already used up a double Uluru, but our most popular operators for Space City kick things off with that
Luna Tempest Stinger.
Luna Tempest vibe.
Ya sih, bener sih, emang aku juga setuju sih.
NBA said to use a Tempest. I didn't clock that. Here the ropes on NBA. We'll have to just double check and make sure that is up to date. But all our other teams certainly do have double Tempest.
I setuju.
The only unusual thing there as well was the Raptor being, prioritized for Gataga. We talked about that earlier. Instead of Luna, everyone else kind of used their Raptors, and we'll be bringing Luna along. You can see our pro spawns here: FPV, Fnatic, NBA, and DE. They're the ones that get the pro spawns, but also those yellow spawns, particularly Command, Central Command, Floor POV, Gataga, LFS, and NBA. They could also have that, and that's a really strong spawn. We've seen the brick decoded by Central Command spawn teams a whole bunch because they can just run straight down over that bridge half the time.
Oke, mulai saja.
Well, guys,
Okay, wait a
we
minute.
jump into our first Space City map of the day. Let's go ahead and hit y'all with a quick giveaway, right? A redeemable code for 1,000 Delta tickets is about to appear on your screen. Redeem it as quickly as possible, and then scream when you do redeem it. It's got 15 redemptions available for you, and you can see the code right there. 6.
Ya nggak bisa anjir, emang nggak bisa. Tai lah, kirain bisa cok. Oke, Space City, udah ada nyebrang ketahuan itu. Ya aman, selamat anjir.
About what they were doing and what he has to say to people that are looking to get into Delta Force competitive. Like, you don't know until you try, and all you can do is keep trying to improve yourself and do the best that you can with your team and work on that chemistry. Let's see what they have here today for NBA. Okay, bit of an interesting operator composition for them as well, but they've been kind of doing that all day.
It is an interesting comp. They've not brought a Tempest in, and they've also brought in full gold gear. Is saying as well, they didn't have it on at the start and have swapped it around, which is why it shows they came in with no armor at all. Remember, our players have individual piles of cash in this, so you will often see teams bring in stuff and then drop it and swap it with their teammates, depending on who's been farming all the money for that particular team. I think for Team DE, that's all of them, right? Because they've got so many kills so far today. As we see Fnatic moving in over the employee passage pipes there.
Ooh, okay, well, for DE, win condition unlocked for them. Fnatic picking up reds. Go them. Honestly, the majority of the reds that we've been seeing have been at the hands of Fnatic. My pronunciation today is crazy, Ben. Somebody check on me.
I find the FNC, it keeps catching me out. It's kind of like the word with the vowels taken out, right? Feels like a bit of a tongue twister, but yeah, Fnatic.
A little bit.
Yeah, obsessed there. And most of our teams really quite central, maybe more central than you might normally see this early in a space, right? As DE, they've grabbed the brick, and that is our match point team currently. They actually had the other prio spawn. They had the employee passage spawn. Came in straight over the pipes and got in the middle, and they've picked up the brick straight away. They came in from Central Command.
Halo yang menonton, di like dong.
And then NBA, the other tier
Di like dong yang menonton dong.
Bridge key carded that and then came in that route. So you can see them over on the south. And DE, just have a little think about where they're going to go here. They don't really have an obvious choice at the moment.
I mean, they were one of the teams that got into that black chamber chaos just yesterday. So, do we go back? Do we want more of that?
we would definitely love to see some more chaos in Black Chain, but this is where it finished
Oke,
yesterday
oh,
from number
oke.
one.
Siapa ini yang dapat ODE, coy? DE yang ngambil duluan anjing.
By the way, the final game yesterday,
Oke, apakah ini lokasi, info lokasi lah?
That's in one game.
Di atas kah atau di mana ini lokasi?
Yeah, and that's largely because the guy on your screen was playing from the room as a solo that you can see Skydee kind of just come out of. He was literally in the back behind a suitcase and would just full send run out there and grab it as a solo. I think he did that like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, over and over, and I think Agatha had the brick 5 times, Gataga had it a bunch, LFS had it 5 times. It was absolutely relentless. I think that's got to be up there with the record decode swaps in an event so far. That was a 2 mil red. Oh, the power battery pack. I wish I could find that in pubs. I need it for my collection room, and Juvelier's got it there. I'm really jealous of that one, but it is also absolutely massive, so I'm not sure he'll actually be taking out the map.
It'll be a little interesting here. All right. Have we landed on a positioning in which we'd like to contend for? Let's go ahead and check in and see how DE's feeling.
Двойка? Подожди, ты сказал двойка, тройка?
3, 3. У меня 3 10. А ты засел у меня 3.
Anjir, ini.
А сколько у тебя до ульти?
Mana ini? Belum di decode ini.
Есть.
Мне смог дали на рампу.
Udah kan ada. Masih anu, Cok, belum di anu dia. Ya,
Skyty actually getting knocked there. That was from Team Gotaga, I believe, getting the knock on EMEA. That's going to give D a little bit of wiggle room. And, what we can see from our map here and from the actions here, I mean, it does look like they're going to try and push this. I thought they might try and move north. We did see NBA the other day in one of these matches make a huge rotation from the same position out to the north and all the way around to the dormitory decode, kind of caught everyone napping, and they've kind of got a route to do that if they choose to do so. FNC are lurking outside, but there's no one across Central Command on that bridge, so if they're able to cross, that would be an option for them, but they've got 2 minutes to decide this. It'd only be bold if they push south, I think, right now.
I mean, be bold. No, actually, no, don't be bold in your last showing. You have to be very smart on every bit of the decision-making. Gataga, who have been trying to make something happen. It's okay, because DE still has not committed to a decode station as of yet, but all they are doing is getting that information on how they want to approach it. Because if you have to fight to clear out a potential path to a decode station, it's not really giving you a lot of time to make that happen.
Gimana kayu mau decode? Masa ngulang lagi?
Escorting alongside Fleric, joining alongside Izvishka, who's been staring out through the window, kind of looking, and Gataga finds NBA. Instead, it's Buldo with the first initial knock on to Maxa.
That's going to be a
bakal balik lagi kan kalau nggak di
NBA to get caught out there. I'm not sure how many they got in that room. It is, both their remaining members, so Buldo and Juvelier Skyty went down earlier on. We saw that. That was further up the stairs. Indeed, they are making a move. If they left this a bit late, they might just make this. This is the route I expected them to take. Obviously, we have, the all-seeing eye. We can see everything that's going on. They managed to get out there. It was only really Fnatic they needed to dodge, and now they can move across here. They should, if they're quick, just about have time to grab this Dorm decode. It is going to be very tight, but I think they might just make this. And you can see FPOV there. I think they're potentially reading that unless they're just reacting to LFS, and the team's now realizing, of course, it's a mana brick, right? You can see where it is. You can see who's got it.
Also true. And as it is absolutely making its way towards dormitory, you have to think about how they're going to be able to set up on the defense. They have probably 20 or so seconds before people start to make their way over, because everyone's going to have to be conservative and watch their LOS. You have LFS that's going to be coming down towards the south side of things, where FNC is really working on the central command area and clearing it out. But back to Gataga and NBA, a brutal engagement over here on the Black Chamber side of things, in case that decode went this way. Instead, they find a brawl.
And all of this is going to play into the hands of D perfectly, because it just slows down these teams coming to fight that brick. Another nice red ball there for Rayball, another annoyingly one that I need for my collection room, but that's enough about my collection room. Stick picks up a knock on Yersai, and again, teams scrapping and third party each other while the team decoding is just chilling, and that's a really hard spot 2 push as we see Juvelit taken down by Nox there. Yet another kill on the board for Nox. Got so many this tournament. Now that's going to be a 1v3 against Baldo into this little room. They need to get this wrapped up quickly and just get out of there.
Yeah, they do. Go ahead and invest some util. There's only so much you can do as that rolls on in. Vladid wants to take the fight, and Baldo finds himself just unfortunate situation as Gataga has moved in.
Interesting development down here. By the way, D placed that Mandel brick down on the decode with 1 second left before it respawned. They timed that perfectly. What we're going to see here, this is Dickinson getting a knock on Uzbishka from D. They're decoding that brick right now, Dark Entities. But Uzbishka was actually quite separate from the others, so not revivable, and that's let LFS get through the west gate. That's one of the hardest things to do really when you're pushing this position, is getting out from west gate and towards here, because you can get sniped so easily. So DE, they're a man down now. They've got the decode still with 2 minutes, but this is going to be a challenging one for them to get because of that split situation.
How do you guard the Mandelbrick, your north and your south, with just a duo? You can see LFS have now made a pit stop over onto Izbishka as they loot throughout, but Fnatic is the team that was coming in from the northern side, and they are essentially kind of deathballing together, staying as a team of 3 with DE, Fleric, and Folare. I mean, look, they've been popping off. All 3 players on Dark Entities has been. But knowing that you have to see what kind of resources do we have, where the information, where our team's approaching, and if LFS do this right with the audio cues, should move on to DE the moment Fnatic makes presence.
The first time today we've seen any sort of real mistake from DE and seen them get on the back foot, so they're not really sitting in a position where they're going to defend that brick right now. They could potentially try and throw some util through a door at it, but I think they're just going to let these teams fight over it for a little bit. Let them, thin the ranks a little bit, and then maybe play for it a bit later on. It's going to be the best approach really for 2-man DE now as Fnatic grab the brick. They do have the Tempest. Tempest is knocked. That's no great worry for them. They can get the revive. Stick needs to watch out for his own rocket there. Dinged it into the wall. It's going to be LFS and FNC. Fnatic fights go over at the moment. I think the other teams hopefully will be joining us soon. There we go. That's Gataga.
Gataga mirroring that rotation that we saw LFS take through Westgate. And honestly, not a bad move here for Stickinson to go check this. Little hit fire.
Great shots there from Stick. Certainly no stranger to picking up kills. This is Nox, another player with a bunch of kills on the board. They got 3 on the board for this game so far. 2.5 minutes on the decode for Fnatic. And FPO VR, they're slowly making their way over. They seem happy to arrive late to the party.
See, Nox here. Reassessing the way they're going to do it. Instead, they're going to go north on the outskirts. Getting the eyes in the sky. Sight out some members of Fnatic there, and this is where we're going to have that gameplay, right? Fnatic, the current ones, decoding just over 2 minutes. They did get that initial res thanks to the Tempest one going to steal the decode. But back to the duo of Dark Entities who have not been able to recover. Going to be a duo running it out. Uzbishka will not be able to be picked up. Lost cause here, but honestly, with the way Dark Entities have been playing, if you let some of these other teams brawl it out, you could recover and close it out as a duo.
Certainly still opportunities for them. You so often see whoever's left standing at the end kind of ends up getting the brick, but conversely, if you want to try and wait for that, sometimes everyone thinks that and no one goes and challenges the brick and it just goes. So it's a bit of a gamble really, especially when you're taking it out of your own hands and hoping that the other teams do stuff, because they don't always do what you expect them to. And this is a Tempest push coming in from Gataga. They're going to go and grab the brick here, see what Fnatic can do.
It's like, all right, come on, let's make it happen. Nox going away, Raid Bull the Tempest down. Have no fear, likely going to get back up. It's Maxa though, immediately pops onto the decode, and Gataga does have it. Now for the setup on the defense, you find yourself kind of stuck between Fnatic still. You want to get back to your team, and Dark Entities laying low. Still that duo as LFS on the south side. We do know They are on the horizon. If it's going to keep changing hands, I'd imagine they're playing it for the long game.
Fnatic not able to stop that steal from Gataga here as we see another replay. This is FBV. We said they're arriving late to the party, and that is going to make them even later as Imperator takes down Obsessed. Great shot there. A couple of nice snipes we've seen so far. The first was from Stickinson, I think, another now from Imperator, both from LFS. Great work from them as Fnatic grab the brick back from Team Gataga.
Ini paling tinggal 1 atau 2 kali lagi kalau ada yang mau ini apa?
Locking back things in. That decode time is going to keep on shifting down, and when you're on the precipice of potentially running out of time on Space City and this many teams are still alive, we could see a world in which no one gets a brick here on Space City.
Yeah, a great spot there. Only 4 minutes on the match timer, and that's kind of what happens when you see someone grab the brick and then sit with it for so long. They burnt 4 minutes on the match clock, right, just by sitting there with the brick D, and then came over, and it's only swapped hands 2 or 3 times now. Already getting to that mid end. So let's see. I mean, ideally, best result for DE if they can't take the brick themselves. If no one gets the brick, they'll be very happy as well. But that's Fnatic losing 2 there. They've just got a Tempest. No, they've got no one. Fnatic are gone to LFS.
No chance for Fnatic to get a Mandel brick here on Space City. Dark Entity still alive, still in win condition, but LFS with the decode need every bit of this. Mind you guys, a point goes the way. You get a Mandel brick to go alongside your score for the day. Defense has to be flawless.
Ropes dropping there. That's going to be Gataga running in for another go at it. LFS going to try and block, but it's tough to do. No, they do get the knock on Maxus, so that sends the Tempest back. They're going to have to wait for that ult to reset, and that won't be ready again before that Mana brick is decoded unless someone else interrupts. So that is a huge knock there for LFS, and it's going to be FPV maybe might be able to interrupt, but it's still a little way away.
Ayo, ada bisa nge-retake gak nih? 2 menit pas ini, gas ini.
I'm starting to get nervous because with the time as it is running down, if anyone pops this, maybe 1 or 2 more changes. LFS though, 40 or so seconds determining their fate, and Imperator is just keeping his eye on that doorway.
LFS 33 detik.
Remember here, our teams,
sebelum
unless they've got
ada yang
intel
nge-retake.
themselves from who they've
Siapa
been
yang mau
fighting, they don't
nge-retake nih?
necessarily know who is decoding this brick right now. So, you know, they need to play like this match is about to finish, this match is about to end. This could be a second brick for DE for
LFS
some of these
dong
teams know.
dapat
LFS,
aja.
they know obviously that's not the case because they've got 15 seconds on the brick, and even if getting on that brick and he's going to play his life, this could be huge for LFS.
And here we go, Gataga on the move, but 4 seconds for LFS. LFS looking for a Mandel brick. They extract with the Mandel brick. It's decoded and now go into win condition. When you think about Space City on the back-to-back, dude, if LFS walk away with 10 points on the day, like we're literally just theory crafting here, because at this point, if it ended and we went to game 7 and we only saw 1 Mandel brick for DE and LFS, DE has the squad points to get the top of the leaderboard. But dude, LFS coming into this day with 5 points on the group standings.
Kita ya. Berarti jam mereka
They've
baru
given
jam
themselves a chance here. They had a very slim chance coming in today.
EMEA kan
Remember,
Eropa nggak sih?
last games for both groups playing
Eropa
today, last
ya.
games of the group stages. So
Berarti
they need to
harusnya
give
sekarang
absolutely
mereka jam
everything today. And
9-an.
with that brick, LFS they've given themselves a lifeline. They also need really Fnatic and FBOV to score very badly today, so they kind of need to hope that they're at the bottom of the table. And LFS really only a double Mandel brick win will do, but you know, they are halfway there. They've got 1 DE. They lost his Bishka early, and they've just had to sit there and watch, and that brick is gone, and now it's just playing for kills for the next 40 seconds on Space City.
Just that. All right, we're locking it in, having some fun alongside it. But let's get some kills with that Mandel brick. Okay, not what I was intending, but Gataga needs them as well. Gataga pick up the knock on to Stickinson, who extends out a bit too far. Now even looking for some crazy flank play, gets found out by Obsess.
Nice, cari kill, DM, cari kill.
Nice knocks coming in from our players here. This is Maxa moving in hyper aggressively. One of our highest kill players we've seen so far in this tournament, and does manage to pick up, I think, both kills on the remaining two members of DE there. So nice scoring for the boys from Kotaga, but no brick for them. The brick this game has gone to LFS, living for success. They're right down the bottom of the table today. They need absolutely everything, and they have the tiniest of lifelines now.
Tiniest of lifelines. Look at their faces, like they know what they're doing. And when you saw number one yesterday get to close things out, they were facing relegation, and they locked down double-digit points on the group standings and put themselves in that kind of contending spot for the survival stage. But I'm seeing the smiles from LFS. They know they're doing everything that they possibly can to prolong their life on the tournament. And there we have it, the best team on Space City, 5 KP and a Mandel brick. Okay, LFS.
Yeah, great work for them, and they've given themselves a chance, and even if they don't manage to get themselves out of that bottom two, it'd be great seeing them just have a good performance today, and they can walk away with their heads held high. 7 kills for Kotaga there as well. Worth mentioning that. 5-4, living for success. We saw big snipes coming in from Stickinson and on Imperator. That one from Stickinson especially important, because that really opened up DE. That got rid of Azbishka, who was separated from the other members of DE, and allowed them to move in. So that was crucial, gave them good positioning. 4 for Maxa, picked up 2 on DE right at the end there. We saw those 3 for Stickinson, and even grabbing 2. 1,000 damage almost for Stick on his own.
Okay, that's some massive damage there. Maxa there at the top of the kill leaderboard, going to be second on damage in terms of our assisters. Nox kind of getting in there, along with Vladid and Imperator. Now, thinking about LFS getting their 1 brick here, they've only historically had 1 brick throughout the group series. So knowing that they came in and did what it needed to be done, but Raid Bull finding all the assets yet again.
He absolutely did, and our MVP of the day is going to be Maxa. I think mostly thanks to grabbing 2 kills in about the last 2 seconds of that round. Well done for Team Kotaga and Maxa grabbing that one. Very interesting story. I mean, this is such a great thing to follow now. We have DE, who are one team with the Mandel brick, fighting for those top 2 positions, and then we have LFS, complete opposite side of the table. They've got the other brick fighting for survival, and they both want that second.
They truly do, and honestly, who's going to be able to take it down? We do have 1 more game at least for the tournament day here in week 4, day 2 of our group series. Let's go ahead and hit to a break, and we'll see you guys on the other side. two teams in win condition, and LFS fresh off a Mandel brick on Space City, fighting to prolong their life in Season 1 of the Delta Force Rise series. Guys, we are back. We are just getting started here. Or is it the beginning of the end for some teams, Ben?
Well, it very much could be that way. We've got the bottom three fighting it out today. You can see Fnatic, 4 POV, and LFS. They're the ones to watch fighting for relegation at the moment. D, they're still sitting top, joint Mandelbricks with Living for Success, of course, but those huge squad points D acquired over the first 3 games. They actually didn't gain any more in that game there, despite being the first ones to claim the brick. We're going to be jumping onto Space City once again, of course, for another Mandelbrick round. If we make it to the next game, assuming that no one gets a double Mandelbrick, that'll be Space as well. And you can see our operator selection. Everyone got a Tempest left still?
Ooh, actually, now we look at it, LFS got that Mandelbrick without a Tempest and can expend one back-to-back if we should need to. I like that for them. A couple of Valurus on the rise as well. So it's only gonna, time will tell what we see our players pull out. I'm keeping my eyes on NBA because honestly, I have no idea what they're gonna throw down with Stinger Luna Tempest still being the most popular operator combo there. It's 63 total lock-ins throughout our tournament. And that Tempest pick rate, we're just gonna keep seeing it go up here on Space City always.
NBA, I think one of the teams today we've not seen really at their full potential yet. You can see the spawns they might have. They might have a tier 1 spawn going into game 5 today. Could also be Fnatic, Gataga, or LFS. Going to be interesting to see who gets to charge in through the West Gate. We've just about seen everyone make it through, I think, the past couple of days, haven't we? Sometimes we've seen some absolute disasters there. I think it was Team Genius that got wiped there a little while ago, but we are jumping into our next game now.
And before we do that, y'all, if you're at home wanting to see what the heck is going on, maybe you want to play for Season 2, go ahead and get your team together and sign up for that Season 2 Open qualifier. Of course, registration will open on August 10th, which is crazy because that's 9 days from now. We're in August. 2026 has been action-packed, so don't miss your chance to compete and see if you've got what it takes to get some of those Mandelbrick decodes and chow some of our heavy-hitting squads. You could be looking just as good as Dark Entities is today as we kick things off in round 5 with them.
This is going to be DE pushing NBA, and they haven't got any smoke down at all yet. They're going to go for smoke late here. I'm just curious what their players. They've got gizmos, they've got the smoke grenades. A little bit limited on option. Obviously, you'd rather have maybe a stinger there, gives you a huge smoke you can deploy. NBA just waiting for the mag dump. They can probably sneak in here, but I think they got let off the hook there.
Yeah, actually they do here. We got the Luna Tempest Stinger combo here for DE. They're getting serious. We're gonna go for, since they've got that match point unlocked, Skydie. However, on the ground, if your Tempest has been fooled, things may be getting more interesting for NBA. LFS, who are also on the table with match point unlocked. What are we gonna see here as everyone is starting to move towards where that Mandelbrick has spawned?
Great move from LFS there. That was hyper aggressive. They came across from the central command spawn, one we talked about being a pretty good spawn, even though it's tier 2. They came straight across the zips. Heard that fight going on. They obviously heard NBA. They were quite slow getting in through Westgate as they were waiting to get their smoke down, and that just allowed them to get the shots on Skydie. As you say, they're Tempest, and we've seen another knock here. This is Jame taken out by Maxa through the stairs.
Oh dang, ain't no way this is happening. But that's okay. Fnatic definitely getting eyed down by Gataga, but LFS also hearing the engagements, putting pressure down as well. It's going to be a really interesting map here on Space City. We outlined the fact that DE is fighting for the top 2, looking for auto qual into the finals next weekend on Sunday. And LFS just looking to avoid relegation. Fnatic just ahead of that cutoff line of the bottom 2, so needing to show up and show out. But as you see, what people have invested here, Gataga, Fnatic, LFS, pretty much solid gold. DE bringing in the gold ammo alongside FPOV. Maxa already retreating back on that Tempest ult.
Yep, Gataga grabbing the brick with the Tempest, so that timer has begun. They might find themselves in a similar situation. They didn't have a decode station locked down, but they might have a little bit easier access into the black chamber potentially here. Yeah, looks like they're going to move down, and on the mini-map there, can't see anyone in, so we are going back to the black chamber decode, the one we saw absolute chaos on yesterday. Let's see if it goes that way again. It's certainly been placed on it very early. We've got 15 minutes on the match clock for our teams to decide what they want to do. Also, just a quick note that SkyT did get revived there, as well as the other player that we dropped. So we're back up to a full contingent of all our teams now.
I'm going to start a tally. We had, what, 17 you said yesterday?
17.
In Black Chamber? Okay, cool. So far, we got 1 for Gataga, and they're just about to get 30 seconds done and dusted on that decode as everyone is starting their rotation throughout. Fnatic were kind of guarding that horizontal test workshop. Decode are going to have to get their way up towards the north, LFS out towards the west, and you are 100% right with NBA back to a team of 3. FPOV, though, do have to play from the far east and will have to cross to get over there. Interesting for them.
A little bit like last game, really. FPOV spent a lot of time kind of roaming around on the outskirts and playing it slow, trying to time it right to just turn up at the ideal time. It didn't work out for them last game. You know, they didn't really manage to even get a chance to try and steal that brick. They're going to want to make sure they get a little bit more involved. You know, they're one of those teams, them and Fnatic, they're fighting, you know, just on the edge of that relegation zone, so they need some points. They don't necessarily need the crazy amount of points that LFS need, right? LFS basically only a double Mandelbrick win will do. Nothing else, I think, would mathematically get them enough to get out the bottom 2. So not the same case for the other 2 teams. They, you know, if they could get 6-7 points, that could well be enough for those teams to survive.
Well, we'll have to see how this one plays out. But if Gataga gets the decode about halfway through, and so far they haven't really had any challengers in the Black Chamber, you have to think about what that looks like for the duration. Then we go into Space City, Game 6, and LFS, each map that goes by, like each time it changes hands, I just get even more nervous as we pull up the map feed. You see that LFS has been kind of locked in there. Same with NBA, out towards that ramp side of things, inside the building, kind of looking on the horizon. Fnatic do move up just a bit closer, but haven't quite invested the time. The biggest movement on the map right now is FPOV on the eastern side, kind of working to clear some things out, and then DE are full sprinting. But someone has to chow.
No one wants to make the first move here. You could even see on the map there, FPOV were kind of rotating round to the sort of employee passage routes in, maybe, as we see Max grabbing a star sensor there. D now moving in a little bit closer. Now, this is actually the opposite corner, isn't it? This isn't even where the Mandelbrick is, and there's only just over a minute for Gataga with, you know, just not enough pressure on them. With this stage on, they're going to have all their util available to throw at whoever turns up first. By the time you've recovered from that, you know, that clock's pretty much run out. This could easily be a free brick for Gataga here, I think.
But the thing is, there's no way. Fnatic do show presence, right? Raid Bull initially with the brunt of the damage thanks to the Tempest. They're kind of going for the steal. Do not get it. Vladid on the low ground defends the Mandelbrick to perfection. And with Fnatic being the only real challenge to swipe the decode, someone's going to have to make a move. NBA finally deciding to full send out through the south side. You've got to take that fight against Vladid because he's going to throw his body on the line to get this.
Everyone just snoozing. They've left it far too late to push it and take this. This is surely going to be Gatagas. They've got this controlled all day long. I mean, these teams are just fortunate this isn't LFS or DE. They could have been walking away with the match right now. SkyT's going to run in there, but no chance getting in. 1 second left. Free brick from Gataga. Well, it's not the 17 decode swaps we had in the end game yesterday, is it? Not a single one, just the placement. And Gataga grab a brick. 3 teams now with a Mandelbrick.
I don't even know what to say about this. Just the stark differential in which we had yesterday in Black Chamber and then today. Which, to be fair, if anyone's going to get it, Gataga, after having their hands on the brick yesterday multiple times with Maxa just trying to survive. You know what? We'll take it. Karma says you go back to Black Chamber and you have a bit of an easier chance to make it happen.
Yeah, just great work, you know, from Kataga. You got to be in it to win it. They got that brick early and got it down, and you do see these free bricks go sometimes. So it's always good to be the first one to get it down, as we see Bane also go down to DE. But Team Kataga, they're probably fighting a slightly lost cause in terms of the table here. They basically needed 10 points to just creep into the top two. So that's a double mana brick win, which they could do. But they also needed DE to basically score 0 points, which, I mean, that's not going to happen, is it?
No. Truly not for Folare. He's got kind of the sense that someone's below him.
Yeah, keeping an eye on Nox down there. They've already got one Nox underneath. You can see them there, and then Nox is hidden in that little sort of dead-end nook there. It's going to be hard to dig out, but they're both very much aware of each other's presence. 9 minutes left on the clock after this decode here, so plenty of time for our teams to try and farm some kills, and that's actually going to be Bloodied and Raid Ball taking down D, getting some more kills on the board. That's going to be useful for our teams, you know, to fight. Now there's 3 different teams on a mana brick. You want to try and get above the other teams that have, you know, that are sharing that with you, and then FPV, NBA, and Fnatic, no brick for them yet.
Actually kind of crazy. All right, well, you can see Skyd down, Skyd out, and it's Gataga's Nox finding Uzbishka and leaving him 1 HP. Buldo. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Just be very, very quiet, guys.
Does look like he's aware. Yep, gonna move in and try and get that, but the smoke down's gonna make that tricky. Buldo, last one left alive for this team as well for NBA. Does manage to pick the knock on Yursai though. Not sure they're gonna manage to confirm that. Does have to back out as Yursai crawls away. Blake is covering that with the frag. Yeah, Buldo used that opportunity, well, to move away and then get shot in the back by Even from LFS. So that's NBA wiped out. They're sitting in 5th place right now.
Ooh, all right. Well, kind of interesting here. Nox yet again looking to get involved. Does expose the triple swing in from FPOV. Do lose on 1 getting down. But the trades are going back and forth. No Mandel brick at the hands because it's already been taken by Gataga. And with 8 minutes left on this Space City Game 5, chaos is just breaking out.
It's getting pretty manic. FPV here, they've got an okay amount of squad points. I mean, everyone's quite even, you know, apart from obviously DE, who have got absolutely loads. They've got 39, and then Fnatic are kind of dropping the match a little bit. But you know, where FPV are, they can get a mana brick next game and get a few points, then you know, they could fight for 3rd, and they kind of need 3rd, I would say, FPOV to try and give themselves a chance to be out of that top 2. I'm not sure 4th, they would get, what, 2 points for 4th. If they got 3rd and a mana brick, they could get themselves 5 points. So, you know, 5 would be really useful for them.
Really would. All right, the duo Fnatic here, kind of working their way around. At this point, you have to start thinking about like what is most valuable to you and your team. Knowing that Fnatic needs to grab as many squad points as humanly possible, whether that's you getting kills or whether that's finding more assets, right? LFS, you have to look at what that tiebreaker looks like. With Gataga full out after getting the Mandel brick, they're stuck at 15. You could improve on that and extend your hold on 2nd place for now.
Yeah, that's true, and you know, even no matter where these teams fight, end up finishing in this leaderboard, you obviously want to just give your best showing on the day. You want to make sure you've given it everything and placed as highly as you can, scored as many points as you can. Of course, you know, teams also get kill bonus, right? So, you know, every kill these players get, that's $50 in their pocket. So there's always something to play for with this format as we have 6 minutes left. This is Raid Ball, 2 left for Fnatic. Rocket Launch Extract has been triggered, and oh my god, are we going to see a team actually take it? LFS might be taking it here.
Maybe. I don't think I've seen a team extract on Space City in at least 2 weeks in comp from what I've been. We did not get them in Americas. We have not had them on EMEA this week and last week as of yet, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think I've never seen a team actually use launch extract. See it triggered sometimes, but you know, the thing is for LFS, right, if they've done the maths on this, then they know that really for them, in terms of leaderboard position, it doesn't really matter whether they finish second or fourth today, because only first has the chance of, you know, getting them off the bottom too. So for them to stay on the map and, you know, try and gain more kills now doesn't necessarily give them value, other than getting themselves, you know, some of that extra money. You get extra prize money for the kills. So, you know, I think they're just going to go and get out of there. They can relax. They can start to plan for the next game. Right, that's all they need to start thinking about. Man bricks, man bricks, man bricks.
Sampai pagi.
That's all they need.
Dia nggak
Very
kuat
true. When you think
orangnya.
about them preserving their resources moving
What
into the
again,
next Mandel brick
Yeah.
round, considering they had invested heavily in it and you don't want to have to like rebuy it, make your life a bit easier for sure. If you could just take an extract out for everyone else, you know, may not be able to extract, just let it all break loose in mid-map.
They do seem to have left a couple of players in the fight. Actually, we might see Stick and Even here decide to do something. No, I see Even flying back on the bungee cords in the distance there, so maybe just probing around. They may choose to take that extract still as the push on FPOV corner. A little nook here, but they got Fnatic on the other side as well. Three-way fight between our three-man teams here.
All right, Blake. Let's see what's happening. We know Dark Entities is just one of the most aggressive teams in our lobby here. Raid Bull and James. Kind of looking some angles through the smokes, but it's Dickinson from a distance. That's like, hey, maybe I could get a little pickup.
This is James here, armoring up as they get pushed back and back. Raid Bull
Kita lihat.
on low health. Great little dash across from Obsessed, but it doesn't come off. But Raid Bull sent back as well, trading 1-for-1 with FPOV between Fnatic here, but only one left. Fnatic came into this a man down, so just James left to try and deal with this. Does have the gold vest, playing the Stinger, can get the quick heal, might be able to get a nice res here. The opportunity, but DE, they might choose to come in from above.
Tim kuning is funny. No.
Definitely might. Kind of hitting some repairs here, as you see, for Blake. Oh, that's actually... I love the crazy angles that we get. Not giving too much out, and you get the first advantage on that engagement, but don't need to be too hyper aggro, because you let it come to you if you so like. With 3 minutes to go, I'd imagine we're going to lose out on at least one more team.
And there we go, Obsessed losing out to that shot from the angle. It's a great little area to use here, and it's much easier to access because of the zip that was added in with the Space City changes we saw. Looked like they were lining up a drop down there, hopefully to get that right. Although that's going to be some broken legs. One of our three-man teams left remaining. LFS also have three, but they're probably going to extract, and that is FPOV taken down to one by D. Look at the health there, so low for Fleric.
Tim DE jadi.
And he just holds on. Keeps those angles. Even Fnatic says, maybe I can get in there and take a piece of this. Jumps through the doorway, and James loses out on that engagement with Blake. Still on this way. Having that information to be able to scout and just block that, whether you put out the bolt arrow and full or a, it's fine. I'm still going for what I want.
On a
Brag.
fraction of health there was Blake, but as mentioned here with the push up with the full three, he gets one. Is he gonna get two? Unlucky. He was so close to getting the double on DE there.
Ketahuan.
You saw his teammate like clapping and hyping it up like that almost just happened right there. You kind of cook your frag grenade, get ready to throw it down. You grab the first knock, and you are just a couple of bullets shy from getting the two-piece onto DE. Elsewhere, LFS still down on the south side of things. We're just waiting to see what's going to go on. Will they be able to lead? The rocket is about to launch ahead of time. Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
First time for everything, seeing a team take the rocket extract. They've got Even and Imperator down here. They're taking out the key, and you can see in the bottom left there, these guys have got the full gold. Sticker's just wearing purple, so Sticker's stayed in the center of the map. You know, have a look around, maybe try and get some kills, and then these guys are going to be sent out with the loot. Just a minute left on the clock, so we're pretty much wrapped up. D currently on 46 points. That will likely drop down a little bit, although actually, you say that, the other extract is pulled, so we might see D get full extract as well as LFS getting two out here.
Okay, might as well. Preserve everything as we move into the potentially last Space City round. Ooh, now that I'm thinking about it, do we get a Game 7 here today? Like, because there's potential. We've seen 3 different teams grab Mandel bricks, which leaves us with 3 teams in win condition on Space City. But honestly, I wouldn't hate it a game 7.
3, 2, 1.
Definitely could happen.
Okay,
This is Stick coming in, no, trying to pick up
Lebih
a knock there, but they
banyak
all
D,
get out. D are
anjir.
gone, and it's just going to be
3
poor
enak,
Stickinson
coy.
left alone
Ya dapat.
on the map. So, I mean,
Ya, malah
it's
nggak
mostly
ikut juga,
vanity
guys.
points for DE because of the
Harusnya
nature of
semua ya.
how today has gone. If they
Malah
win today, or if they come second, or if we get a joint with the Mandarix, they'll pop
So
on that heat
close.
and get as many points as they can. But just the sheer volume of points DE have got now, I don't think any team can really catch them up unless they beat them with 2 Mandarix.
You see now LFS kind of like going through the plans after what happened there, just knowing that, you know, they didn't get the Mandel brick code. Gataga actually make that happen with a pretty much a flawless execution. Oh gosh. I don't even know what to expect going into our next Space City.
Klasik,
The fact that we had a dormitory decode, then we get the Black Chamber. But let's go ahead.
Rambut
Gataga,
kurang.
best team of that Space City. 1 kill,
Klasik.
but they got the decode, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's all about in that game. They didn't need to get a bunch of kills for it. They were first to grab the brick, placed it down, and got it for free in the end. As we see, Team Gotaga top with the brick. D grabbing 7 kills for probably the 4th time today. The 4th time today that DE have managed to get 7 or more kills in a game, which is absolutely silly, frankly. LFS grabbing 3, Floor POV grabbing 3 as well. Fnatic with 1. And you see our team with 0 there. Fleric grabbing another 4. The kill count from these guys today is just absolutely off the charts.
It's exceptional, and it doesn't matter because it's always like, it's not just one person that shows out for DE, right? They definitely change hands. They can be that power player, top damage dealer from DE, going to be Fleric there. Jame and Stickinson kind of rounding out that top 3, relatively similar score lines there for the top assisters. Hey, look at Polaroid making its presence. Izvishka there over with 2, and Stickinson constantly showing presence inside the top 3.
100%, and here we go. Uzbishka, yeah, with a decent amount of money, as you'd expect, because they're getting a decent amount of kills, and that is Fleric picking up another MVP for DE. They are cleaning up on the MVP spots today. That was round 5. We've got another Space City game to go, and as you said, we could have 2 more potentially, round 6. 3 teams now on a Mandabrick. Any of those are on match point. They could win it in this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see one of the other 3 grab another brick now. NBA particularly, you know, could be time for them to step up.
It could be time for them to step up for sure, y'all, but we are going to have more action to come. Will someone close it out and get their 2 bricks? Will LFS prolong their life in the tournament and make it into that survivor stage next week? Well, we'll have those answers after this break.
Wadaw. Dang, 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 dang. Nangkep. Menangkap Pokemon dulu. Nice. Nah, dapat kan? Gak dapat aja. Kabur, Cok. dapat ini, suara dapat. Ini lurunya keren banget sih. Luru keren kan bisa.
The time to strike is now. Y'all, welcome back to the Delta Force Rise Series EMEA Week 4, Day 2. And the final countdown is on. Ben, with 3 teams on match point as we potentially move into our last space city. Anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely could. We've seen players from the top of the table, or teams from the top of the table, the bottom of the table, and now the middle of the table, all grabbing a mandel brick. So people poised all over the board with potential to grab the second and take the dub. Great to see Target getting one there, completely uncontested. Sometimes, you know, it just happens. Everyone's waiting for that other team to engage, and then no one really did.
That is very true. As we pull up that leaderboard and set the stakes of what is to be had. Dark Entities, LFS, and Team Gataga all with 1 mandel brick. But it's honestly Dark Entities looking cracked out over there with 29 kill points. 46 squad points, a massive performance for them, but have not closed it out just yet. For Floor POV, MBA and Fnatic have not gotten their hands on a mandel brick. Could turn the tide and bring us to that round 7, in which we will either see Space City or Brackish, which Brackish technically has kind of been one of the favored maps to choose. But we will see here who's going to be able to. Someone new arise? Do we see it close out here? Only time will tell.
Very interested to see our team's approach as we go into game 6 here. Just 1 Tempest remaining, if that is correct, with LFS at the moment. It's going to play into their hands nicely, and we can see, you know, remember also, you know, these operators reset in the last game. If we get to game 7, you can use whoever you like. So this is the last time that teams will be slightly restricted on what they can bring in. So you see Mr. Popular himself, Stinger, Luna and Tempest, the classic Space City entourage.
Kursi ini keras banget
anjir. Tempest pick rate 21%, but we do only have 1 team that can bring a Tempest into this round. You will likely only see 1 of them until, you know, maybe we go game 7 in terms of our spawn predictions. MBA and Team Gataga, fresh off those tier 1 spawns, not going to be able to have those here. For now, it's just Fnatic, Floor POV, LFS, and DE with the potential for the tier 1s. That Westgate, though, been under fire from Dormitory. Haven't seen anything too crazy break out.
Gimana ya?
So do we go to Black Chamber? Do we go to Dormitory? Do we go to the Coveted as our players are kind of picking what they're going to bring in? It's time to lock it in.
Patiduran aja.
It absolutely is, and we're going to find out what operators our teams have chosen in just a moment. See what gear they've chosen as we go into game 6, and there you go. We can see LFS with the Tempest as we expected, and everyone else just kind of picking whatever they've got left and hoping it will be enough for them to take the dub. As we see LFS this time, it's going to be their turn to put some pain onto DE, running in through the West Gate. They've got the Tempest, so they can have the advantage when it comes to the break, but that's actually Gataga. Keep an eye on them. They got a few shots on, that was, Fnatic running in over the bridge. They got away with it though, healed up. And you can see just at the top there, FPV, they've got the spawn at center.
It's going to be really interesting with 25 seconds to go before that Mandelbrick spawns on in. Plenty of time to make these rotations, but with how aggressive and great DE's been looking in terms of their fighting, they're going to go ahead and survive the Westgate rotation, make it to the mainland, and kind of work their way closer towards the Mandelbrick spawn alongside Fnatic and MBA as they kind of circle around it elsewhere. You see LFS on the map, still in Dormitory, and FPOV kind of on the horizon there.
they're actually, looks like you can see here, they've decided to not go in quickly, which has kind of been FPOV's sort of plan of the day, has been slow and steady. And usually the Central Command team you'll see just rush straight across the bridge, but it actually look like they're trying to counter the dormitory area. There is our brick. It's ready to grab for those who choose to do so. You can see James from Fnatic setting up on there might be one to do it. They've got no brick at the moment. If they could get a brick, get themselves above FPOV, that would do them all sorts of favors.
Okay. I expect this one to be a bit more conservative and slower paced as Uvalier gets absolutely inundated by Util. Forced to kind of back down those stairs, and it's actually Dark Entities picking up the Mandel brick. Now, think back to our first Space City. Dark Entities did pick it up, spent some time deciding in which decode station we wanted to go to, filter their way through dormitory, and while spread out trying to hold angles, lose out on Uzbishka and don't actually get the decode. So, do we go back to that? Do we try All Reliable? And it could be All Reliable, and NBA is here to challenge if so.
Not often you actually see, you know, the fight kind of before the brick goes in so much like this, and they do have slightly more control of the space here, D, but it's a fight between NBA and D, and NBA is so stacked up there, that's making me nervous, and yeah, Baldo taken down. I mean, they were lucky not to lose more than 1-6 so close together, and not really been NBA's day so far. They've had some great performances on other matches in the tournament, so definitely potential for them to score big if they can get on top of things, but for the time being they're sitting 5th, and yeah, they got that brick in now.
There it is. Decode time kicking off. So let's look and see how we're going to approach this as LFS must win, mind you, okay? NBA guarding the ramp. They already get the knock in full onto Stickinson, and they do have a Tempest. It's going to be Even, who is their Tempest player, still up. What is that recovery going to look like when you have to take the Chalice of the NBA? And now Dark Entities running into some issues over here.
It's a great bit of defense from Skyty there. He was protecting the res. They're trying to get back up to full contingent, and this is massive for LFS. They have to move that body and get that res, otherwise they're going to really be struggling. I think they have managed to get away. We see Fnatic and Gataga just having a huge fight here, and everyone is dropping. D now down to 1 member, by the way. They're having a fight with NBA up at the decode, and that is bad news for D. NBA, they've come back in storming after grabbing that res.
Well, LFS do get the res on Stickinson as well. The matter of this game is all about survival, and Uvalier is not letting Uzbishka live. Dark Entities is wiped. The decode now frozen. And as you see, Gataga working to get Maxa back up and into the fray. You look at LFS and Gataga, the only two that can close the tournament out right now. If NBA or FPOV get the brick, we're going another game.
You do have Fnatic wipes during all that as well, and that's a big deal because they're one of the teams down the lower end of the table, and FPOV, as we see, even losing one there for LFS, but that is the Tempest, so they'll be able to get that revive pretty comfortably. The other players are covering here. Yeah, FPOV, they can beat Fnatic by, you know, a couple of points, and they should be alright to get ahead of them. So they're firmly ahead of them at the moment, but they need to do stuff. They've got to get involved. They've not been super involved in any of the last couple of games, really. You can see them just creeping in on the minimap there, and they need to get some kills, because that 3rd place, that 4th place rather, if that's where they finish for FPOV, that could be huge for them.
Definitely side questing for now, but that's okay. They'll get into it. For LFS, they hop the decode. And if they walk away with a double Mandel brick day, it's insane, because number one had their chance in showing yesterday, and they did exactly what they needed to do, right? LFS need to make it happen, and NBA goes under siege at the hands of Gataga. 3 teams of 3 left, and 2 of the 3 are in win condition.
Yeah, if LFS get the 2nd brick, that'd give them, what, 10 points? They'd be 2 ahead of Fnatic, and they're not going to score any at the moment. FPOV would be 3 behind, so FPOV would need 3 or more points. It's going to be so tight. This battle at the bottom is going to be nuts, but yeah, if LFS don't get the 2nd brick, that will be very helpful to whoever wins really have Fnatic and Floor POV. That's the other battle here. DE, they are wiped here, but they were just 1 point behind first going into today, so they don't have to get the 10-point win, but all points they get are valuable.
And you can just see LFS. FPOV's got their name on it. You're saying the IGL. Given shouts of where they're located and trying to defend from. But when you're breaching that 2-minute margin for the decode, you've just got to lay it all on the line. And they've got the Stinger. They've got the Tempest. They have the Luna. They have everything they need to make this happen as we go back to the replay and see what happened to DE.
Yeah, this is DE versus NBA. And we might actually see NBA get wiped as well shortly. They were actually sent out of the lobby. That's Izbishka we saw go down. Clearly frustrated with that. They were top of the table. I mean, they still are, but they are not able to take part. NBA did get wiped during all of that as well. Especially lost 3 teams now. 2 of the teams remaining are both on a break. The Tiger LFS both have a break. FPOV do not.
FPOV are down to a duo, and they were the ones kind of poking at LFS while the decode. Maxa, yeah, the Luru ult in hand. See if that comes to fruition as they are starting to get their presence out here from a different angle as well. And LFS spreading, holding. 1 minute left on the decode.
This is very tight. Remember, LFS, they're the only ones with a Tempest as well, which is a huge advantage when you're fighting over these mana bricks. That's FPV losing Yersai there, 2 knocks from Gotaga, 45 seconds on the clock. LFS are stacking up on this brick now. They know they could smell it. This could save them, and this would save them. If they claim this, FPV get 2 points before, they would be above them. They would go above them with 15 points, and that would relegate 2 of our teams here. 30 seconds.
That is absolutely crazy. 25 seconds. FPOV, we're going to pick up Yersei. You only have so much time in Gotaga. From behind the wall, Incendiaries looking to connect onto Imperator. See the hit markers coming through, and hey, you're getting a line of sight, and all they're going to do is work towards the body block, defend like their life means it. 5 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. LFS get the decode. They do it.
That is absolutely astonishing result for LFS. They've done it, unless my maths is failing me. That's going to be a 10-point win for LFS. They've won today's match. They were bottom of the table starting today on just 5 points. They've just gained 10. They're going to be on 15. That's going to relegate Floor POV and Fnatic. I'm pretty sure they're going to be not coming to finals. And by the skin of their teeth, I think LFS have done it. But let's wait and see the leaderboard at the end, because maybe I've got that wrong. We'll wait and see what happens. And there is just a couple of teams here left to have a bit of fun, vibe out for some kills for the last few seconds, or the last few minutes, I should say. 8 minutes left, actually.
We'll have to wait and see what that score line looks like when we get everything tallied. But to do anything and everything possible to keep your chances in the tournament alive. I'm not a mathematician, Ben, I'm just not, but we'll see how it goes for LFS and FPOV. The only thing you can do at this point is just poke and prod at each other. And even looking for some angles, looking for some hairlines, trying to scalp them if you can.
This is our final fight. LFS fighting Floor POV. 2 teams have been battling each other very closely in the leaderboard. 3 versus 2 at the moment for FPOV. Imperator's been taken down, but there goes Success. That's going to even up, make it a 2v2. And the knock on Yersai, nicely done. They've actually got 4 kills on the board for LFS here as well. They've had a pretty good outing. Well, that's pretty understating it somewhat to say it's pretty good. 0 kills at the moment for FPOV. It is going to finish like that. 0 kills for them.
Kind of a tough day for FPOV in their final showing here in the Delta Force Rise Series Group A and D, man. With one more day on the horizon, you get the reactions for LFS.
Так, Кирюх, на интервью ты идешь.
Нет, ты пойдешь.
Нет, нет,
У
Кирюх.
меня 0, братан.
Тихо, давай, братан. Вот это топ. У меня вот здесь вот топнуло. Я не уверен, что это все. Нет, вертолет.
Oh, the boys obviously very happy there. They know they think they're safe. They pretty much know they're safe. I reckon, but I'm second guessing myself. That's game 6. We're going to see some replays of the action here. This was even getting the knock on Yersai. Nice tag there. This is when we had 3 teams up. Kataga, you can see coming under fire. Stickinson picking up some, and that is the wipe. That was even getting the wipe. Just a furious defense on that Mandabrick. That's what you want to see. Full commit, throwing their bodies in the way. And they did everything perfectly on that final brick there.
They truly did. And now with time to just spend vibing here on the match, you see the send-off. 6 minutes on the clock. You can only imagine what that feels like with your backs against the wall and you're like, I only have one potential finish on how today needs to go, and you achieve it. And then now we just have to crank the numbers and see, like, what does everything shake out? Because not only did they need a win, but you kind of had to pray that other teams above you did not perform to a certain level to get as many points as they could to drag them out. We talked about FPOB, we talked about Fnatic, and now I just want to see how everything shakes out.
Yeah, they've done everything we asked of them and more for LFS, and we might see them extract shortly. This might be the first time pretty sure I remember there's a special extract that pops up if the team has won, like the game has ended. Yeah, the game ends and everyone has been wiped, then you get this special bonus extract. This isn't available to you and I in pubs, but there we go, a rare occurrence of the unique Space City extract for a team that has dominated and wiped the lobby. Well deserved. Imperator heading out, the other players from LFS, Stick, and even they're going to be heading that way. Clear out the map, and then we can see this leaderboard and see where our teams are at. DE also, you know, great haul of points today. They've not won, but they've got that second place secured. That's going to be great points for them with one more day to play tomorrow. None of these teams playing tomorrow. It's the other 2 groups, but DE going to be sitting up at the top and waiting to see what happens tomorrow.
It's kind of an interesting way to be. It's just sitting, watching. Do we lock ourselves into that auto qual for the finals next Sunday? Or do we have to go through the survival stage? You'll have multiple chances because you'll be at the top, right? So you get to play Saturday and Sunday for the potential to get into the top 2 to lock it into the finals. But it's getting so close to the end of Season 1 and LFS with an exceptional performance, as you see Even and Stickinson getting out of Space City. Congrats on the Mandelbrick.
There we go. There is Stickinson. We've seen Stickinson getting so many kills all tournament. He's been up in the top, 5 or so kill placements for the overall leaderboard the whole event. They've just not been able to convert those into points from Mandelbricks until today. I think they had 1 Mandelbrick going into today total throughout the event, and then they've got 2 in one match in their 6th match of the group stages. So that is going to be massive.
Padahal
for
match 1 kayaknya
LFS.
kurang
And
banget
set us up
LFS,
nicely
tapi
for
congrats
tomorrow.
aja.
Tomorrow, of course, our last day of the group stages.
Jong
We're gonna have all the
gratis.
other teams fighting out, and tomorrow is going to be all about the fight at the top. But today was the fight for survival, and 6 kills. Obviously, the best team. LFS